For the seasoning, you need chicken, salt, garlic powder, and black pepper. You'll need a knife with a slim tip. For the top bone, we're using this tip a lot. Cut around the leg to sever all the tendons and around the top of the bone. Make sure to get all the tendons. You should be able to pull the meat away from the ankle. For the top of the bone, there is a hollow space behind the knee. It's a great spot for knife insertion. Make shallow cuts around the bone, working the tip of your knife in. It should get easier the further you go. Now you just grip the bone tightly and slide the meat off inside out. Easy peasy. You can save the bone to make stock for gun. Now we find the thinnest portion of the drumstick to cut through. This is very important because you don't want it to fall apart later. 2 pieces per drumstick. Of course, you can make more portions if you want to. Next up, the rub. I'm using salt, garlic powder, and black pepper. I don't have a set amount, but use as much as you like. Mix it up and let it sit in the fridge for half an hour. As you might have figured by now, this isn't a traditional recipe. Usually there's no rub and it's bone in. This is my own take on it, incorporating what I like. I don't feel like slaving over the stove for too long, hence the deboning. Feel free to change yours up. To me, cooking is an experience, not a doctrine. It's alright to experiment. Flour. I like to use a mix, a 50-50 mix of rice and wheat flour. Wheat gives a nice browning, and rice flour makes it crispy. Traditionally, you only use rice flour, but you do you. Rules were made to be broken. Just plop the chicken in and coat evenly. Shake off any excess flour. Extra flour will just sink in your oil and burn, leaving more to strain out later. After you're done, wrap it up nice and tight and shove it in the fridge for an hour. Honestly, I've seen people skip this step or even fry it twice. Me? Some days I do, some days I don't. While we're waiting, we can make the fish sauce glaze. Here I'm using serrano pepper. You're actually supposed to be using chili pepper, but they ran out at the store, so I had to improv. To me, this actually tastes mild, so add as you wish. Mincing will be a lot easier with a curved blade. Place your left palm on top of the free end of the blade, and use your other hand to rock the knife up and down. Fish sauce also needs garlic. Make sure to peel it first before mincing. You can do this easily by crushing it slightly with the side of your blade. You have to mince the garlic too. Another part of the glaze is fish sauce, sugar, lemon juice, and water. You should start off with a ratio of 2 to 4 to 2 to 2. Heat it up to dissolve the sugar and mix it frequently. After the sugar dissolves, you should taste test it. Not salty enough? Add more fish sauce. The same goes for sugar and lemon juice regarding sweet and sour. If everything is just too intense, dilute it with water. The overall amount of glaze you make depends on the occasion. Obviously, you'd make different amounts of glaze for a meal versus a party. Okay, time for the fun part. Deep fry. Use enough oil just to submerge a single layer of chicken. Turn the heat on medium-high. If you stick your chopsticks or other wooden utensil in and you see bubbling around it, the oil is ready to be used. Cook for at least 15 minutes with regular flipping and leave it in for longer if you want more browning. Just don't get bored and then forget about it. Best case, you burn your chicken. Worst case, your house burns down with everybody in it. If you don't want oil to splatter everywhere, you can use a lid, but leave a large gap so the moisture can escape. Otherwise, your chicken will get soggy. Now that the glaze is bubbling, it's ready to coat your fried chicken. You can directly transfer the chicken to the simmering glaze. Put one side face down in the glaze for 3 minutes, then flip and repeat for the other side. You shouldn't need a lid for this since the fish sauce glaze doesn't splatter like oil does, and you want your chicken to stay relatively crispy.